Today I'm going to show you how to make soft pretzels from scratch. This recipe makes about 12 small knots or 6 dozen nuggets. You will need 7 ounces of warm water, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 1 1/8 teaspoons of instant yeast, 2 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 ounces of unsalted butter melted, and then for boiling you're going to need 5 cups of water, 1/3 of a cup of baking soda. You also need about 1 1/2 tablespoons of pretzel salt to top before you bake. So let's do it. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your water, your yeast, and your brown sugar. You're going to mix them together and you're going to let them start to activate. Then in your mixer, you're going to add your flour, your butter, your salt. You're going to mix this so the salt distributes nice and evenly. Now you'll add your yeast mixture to your flour and you're going to mix it until it forms a ball, and it's going to knead for about 8 to 10 minutes. At that point, you could take it out and you're going to knead it for about 2 to 3 minutes until it gets to a nice ball where the sides are nice and smooth. When you press your finger into the side of the dough, it should bounce back rather quickly. That's how you know that you're done. You're going to put this in a greased bowl. You're going to cover it with plastic wrap and you're going to let it sit for about 1.5 to 2 hours until it doubles in size. Next thing I'm going to do, after 2 hours, I'm going to divide my dough. I'm going to show you 2 different shapes. Half the dough I'm going to do knots, the other half I'm going to do nuggets. The first half of dough I'm going to divide it in 6 and I'm going to roll each piece out to an 18 to 24 inch rope. I'm going to shape it into a U. Then I'm going to take those 2 tops and I'm going to twist them and then pull them down to the bottom to form my pretzel shape. I'm going to put them all on a well-greased piece of parchment paper or pan, and I'm going to put them on the side so I can do the rest of my pretzel dough. I'm going to divide this into 3 equal 1 inch. So I'm going to roll each rope out to about 18 inches and then I'm going to cut them. You can use a paring knife, you can use a chef knife. I'm just using my bench scraper because it was easier. And you're going to cut them into about 1.5 inch nuggets. You're going to place them also on your greased piece of parchment paper and we're going to let these proof for about 20 minutes. In the meantime, you're going to start setting up your pot of boiling water. 5 cups of water, bring it to a boil, and then you're going to add your 1/3 of a cup of baking soda. You're going to put your pretzels into the water. They take about 30 seconds on each side, and then you can take them off and put them on a rack that has been greased with pan spray. You're going to do this process for the rest of the pretzels. The baking soda is going to allow them to get that beautiful mahogany color. Usually you would use something called lye, but because that is not available to me, baking soda is a great substitution for this process. It is very important to make sure that the pans are greased well, and as well as the rack, because they will stick during this part of the process and you want to avoid that. Okay, so after I have boiled all of my pretzels, I'm going to top them with pretzel salt. Some people put a butter wash on top of them or an egg wash, but I don't. I'm going to place the finished product right onto my well-greased baking sheet, making sure that I spread them apart so they have room to evenly bake as well as grow during the cooking process. I'm going to put them in my 425 degree preheated oven for 12 to 15 minutes. And take them out when they're a nice dark mahogany color. Make sure you just release them from the pan before they start to cool, because they do tend to stick if there is not enough lubrication on the bottom of the pan, and you want to avoid that. These are best served warm right out of the oven. If you wanted to make them in advance and freeze them, don't top them with salt before you bake them. When you take them out of the freezer, spray them with a little water and then bake them tops with a little bit of salt. These are great served with some mustard or your favorite cheese sauce. Hope you enjoyed this recipe. Let us know if you try it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell for notifications for when we add new videos.